culture.
People show off a certain kind of lifestyle.
Flick culture is when people show off a certain kind of lives lifestyle. Flex culture is when people show off a certain kind of lifestyle.
Usually expensive things like luxury bags,
Usually usually expensive things like luxury bags,
fancy vacations, or a new car.
fancy vacation, fancy vacation or a new car, fancy vacation or a new car. Fancy vacation or a new car. And
You might scroll through Instagram or TikTok and see someone drinking coffee at a 5-star hotel wearing designer bags, and Instagram or TikTok.
you might scroll through Instagram or TikTok
And see someone drinking coffee at a 5-star hotel
and see someone drinking coffee at a 5-star hotel
wearing designer bags,
wedding designer wearing designer bag,
and captioning it with something like
and captioning it captioning it with something like
just a normal Thursday.
Wearing designer bags and captioning it with something like just a normal day, something like just a normal days, just a normal
Sound familiar?
Sound familiar? Sound familiar?
Let's talk about why this kind of content is both loved.
Let's talk about why this kind of content is both loved and
hated.
Love and hated. Love and hated.
And what it's actually doing to our mindset. And by the way, this church is actually where Vu and I, and what it's actually doing to our mindset.
Hated. And what is actually doing, and what is actually doing to our mindset.
And by the way, this church is actually where Vu and I got married. So it's kind of fun to get to share it with you guys today. There's a reason why flex culture is so popular.
Flex culture. Show off.
When we see beautiful photos, it gives us a little escape. It makes us dream.
Escape.
Escape. Maybe you're at work or studying and you open TikTok for a break. You see
You
a
see a
couple
couple
traveling in
traveling to
Europe,
Europe,
eating
eating
croissants in
croissants
Paris.
in Paris,
Or
or
someone buys the latest iPhone and
and
unboxes it
unboxes
in a
it
perfect, clean room.
clean rooms.
It's interesting, it's
Interesting, it's
exciting,
exciting,
and honestly, it's
it's
kind of
kind of
fun.
fun.
Some people
Some people
say
say
it
it
impacts
impact
their
their
motivation.
motivation, impact. There's some people say is say it impact say it impacts their motivation like impact
Impact.
impacts
Like,
like
wow, I want to work hard so I can have that lifestyle too. And maybe that's not a bad thing. We all need role models. We all need
a role model. Role model.
Role model.
Role model.
inspiration. And in a way, flexing is inspiration.
Inspiration. Inspirations. We all need inspirations. We all need inspiration.
And in a way, flexing is just a modern way of saying, look what I've accomplished. But that's only one
accomplished.
Accomplish.
Look what I've accomplished.
Side of the story. Let's be honest. When we see these posts, we also feel something else. Pressure.
Something else. Pleasure.
We also feel something else. Pressure. Maybe we look around at our own life and think, why is my apartment so small? Or I'm still using a 3-year-old phone. This kind of comparison can
comparisons, comparison, comparisons,
comparison,
comparisons, comparisons.
Quietly hurt our confidence.
This kind of comparison, this kind of comparisons, this kind of comparison can quietly hurt our confidence. Comparisons, this kind of comparisons can quietly hurt our confidence.
Comparison, with an emphasis on the second syllable. Comparison. This means looking at things or people that are different than us. And here's the thing. Most people only curate the best parts of their lives on
curate,
Most people only curate the best part. Most people only curate the best parts of their lives online. Curate. Most people only curate the best part of their life online.
Curate with an emphasis on the first syllable. This means to carefully choose or organize content, especially online, to show a certain image. Curate.
なんだこれは怖がらないで
They post the expensive dinner, but not the instant noodles they ate the next day. They post gym selfies, but not the 3 days they spent in bed feeling sad. They're putting on a show. I once heard someone say that social media is like a museum of happiness. Everyone's life looks perfect, but it's not real. Now, the phrase to put on a show means to behave or act in a way that is not real just to impress others. So, all that glitters is not gold. And even though we know this, it still affects us. That phrase. And if any parents are listening, there's a reason why
impress glitter
glitter,
that glitter. All that glitters. All that glitter is not gold. All that glitter is not gold.
Flex culture is
Flex
so
culture is so
popular.
popular.
When we
When
see
we see
beautiful photos,
beautiful
it gives
photos,
us
it
a
gives
little
us a
escape.
little escape.
It makes us dream. Xin chào các bạn, mình là Brooklyn Day. Hi friends, it's Brooklyn. Choose or organize, but not the 3 days they spent in bed. That is not real, just to impress others. So all that glitters is not gold. And even though we know this, it still affects us.
Affects it. Affects it.
Effect.
Effect.
That phrase, all that glitters is not gold, means that not everything that looks good or fancy is actually valuable or true.
Valuable or true. Valuable or true. Valuable. Valuable.
Valuable.
Valuable. Valuable or true.
Social media makes us feel like we're connected to everyone, but in some ways, it also makes us live in a bubble.
Bubble.
Is also makes us live in a bubble.
This phrase, live in a bubble, means that you are
live in a bubble. So live in a bubble,
unaware of the real world or truth because you're only focused on one kind of life.
Unaware.
Unaware. You are only focused on. You are unaware of the real world, true. You are unaware. You are unaware of the real life, of the real world or truth.
It's like there's a bubble around you and you can't see outside it. Live in a bubble. We start to think everyone is successful. Everyone is traveling. Everyone has money except me.
Accept.
Except me.
But this isn't
But
true.
is it true?
We're just seeing a small group of people showing the best version of their life again and again and again. Sometimes people try to fake it till they make it. Fake it till you make it is an idiot.
Fake it until. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Idiom that means you are pretending to be
succeed. Pretending to be succeed.
Pretending.
You are pretending to be. You are pretending to be successful. To be successful.
successful
To be successful.
or are confident until you actually are. Sometimes it's a useful tactic to help you get through whatever's hard, but sometimes not so much.
エミナルクリニック。今の自分を変えたい。相談しにくい悩みって。
They rent luxury cars, borrow clothes, or even go into debt just
Debt.
Even go into debt. Even go into debt just to post something impressive.
to post something impressive. It becomes less about real life and more about image.
Less about real life. About real life. Less about real life.
And that can be dangerous because over time, we start to believe that our identity is only valuable if we're admired online.
Identity.
Identity.
That our identity is only valuable if we're admire.
Admire.
Admired.
Identity with an emphasis on the second syllable. Identity. This is the way someone sees themselves or how others see them. Identity. Let's talk about validation.
Validation. Let's talk about validation. Validation.
Validation.
Validation.
Validation.
Is the feeling.
Validation with an emphasis on the third syllable. This is the feeling of being accepted or approved by others. Validation. Posting something online and getting likes and comments, it feels good. That little heart icon gives us a quick shot of happiness. But the more we rely on this kind of attention, the more we feel
attention to them. Attention.
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 feel like we need it to be okay. And when the likes stop, what then? I once met a student who told me she felt anxious if
She felt anxious. She felt anxious.
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 her Instagram photo didn't get enough likes in the first 10 minutes. She even deleted a post because she thought it wasn't good enough. This is not just about fun. This is about how social media affects our mental health and the way we see ourselves. Now, I'm not saying all flexing is bad. Sometimes people are just proud. They worked hard for something and they want to share it. That's totally okay. The problem is when we begin to believe that this is what life is supposed to look like all the time. We forget that behind every perfect photo, there's real life, messy, imperfect, and completely normal.
Messy.
Messy.
Messy. Imperfect. Imperfect.
Imperfect.
Imperfect.
三つ折り、封入、請求書発行業務が大変。
And that's why I think we need to develop a healthier mindset about
healthy mindset, healthier. Healthier mindset.
social media.
Social media.
Instead of feeling
Instead
less
of
than,
feeling
we
less
can
than,
remind
we can
ourselves
remind
the grass is always
the grass
greener
is
on the
always
other
greener
side.
on the other side.
But every
But
life
every
has
life
its
has
ups
its
and
ups
downs.
and downs.
That idiom, the grass is always greener on the other side, means that we always think others have it better than we do, but in reality, that's not always necessary.
in reality. In reality.
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 Necessarily true.
Necessarily true.
What
So
can we
what
do?
can we do?
First, be honest with yourself.
with yourself.
If certain
If
accounts
certain
make you feel
accounts
bad
make you
about
bad
your
about
life,
life,
unfollow them. It's okay to protect your
protect
peace.
Your peace. Protect your peace.
Second, follow people who show real, authentic content. People who talk about their struggles, not just their success.
Struggle.
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 Authentic.
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 Authentic with an emphasis on the second syllable. This means real, true, or honest. Authentic. Third, think before you post. Are you sharing something because it brings you joy or because you want to impress? And finally, talk to your friends. Many people feel the same pressure, but no one says it out loud. When you open up, others might too. Let me tell you something from my own experience. When I first moved to Vietnam, I didn't have a fancy apartment or an expensive car. I still don't. I was new. I was figuring things out. But when I looked online, I saw people living in big high-rise buildings, eating sushi at fancy restaurants, and traveling every weekend. And I thought, am I doing something wrong? Later, I found out many of those people came from rich families and they just like to show their lifestyle online to make them feel good. So I stopped comparing and started focusing on what felt good to me. And that's what I hope for you too. Flex culture isn't going away anytime soon. But we can choose how we respond to it. We can enjoy
Respond.
the inspiration, but still stay grounded. To stay grounded is to
stay grounded.
Grounded. Grounded.
Grounded.
Maintain or keep a calm, stable, and realistic perspective. Stay grounded.
Realistic perspective. Realistic.
Realistic.
Realistic. Realistic perspective. Perspective.
Perspective.
Perspective. Perspective. Perspective. Realistic perspective. Perspective. Realistic perspective.
Grounded. We can dream big, but also be kind to ourselves. And most importantly, we can remember that we are more than what we post. Our value isn't measured in likes. It's measured in how
Measure in life. Measure in
Measured.
measured. Measured. Measure in
how we treat
measure
people,
how we treat
how we
people,
grow,
how we
and
grow,
how we show
how
up
we
for
show up
ourselves,
for
both
yourself,
online and offline.
offline.
All right, thanks
Alright,
for listening, friends. If you like this story, let me know in the comments. What do you think about flex culture? Have you ever felt pressure to post something just to keep up? All right, I'll see you in the next episode.